Why more women should strength train. Disclaimer, this is not an attack at women who are not into training. This is for women who are thinking about going into training, or women that already are training but are not sure if strength training is the right route. For the sake of clarity, let's first establish what strength training is within this context. Strength training in this context means any form of training that will improve your strength or your strength endurance through weighted movements or resisted movements. This can be in the form of the tenets of strength training: squat, bench, deadlift, Olympic weightlifting movements such as your snatch, such as your clean and jerk, even plyometrics. CrossFit over the past 10 to 15 years has normalized women pursuing strength in the gyms and portraying that strong is beautiful. Now, let's address a common rhetoric that happens amongst the general public. To do this, we're going to have to generalize. Now, it's never highly advisable to generalize, but bear with me for a second. Why is it that when the topic of strength training comes up in conversation with a woman that's into training, the consensus seems to be, I do not want to look like X, Y, and Z. Female CrossFitters, they are beautiful, they're in great shape, but I do not want to look like that. The reason why I bring this up is that there's a fallacy that has been embedded within us, because we are bombarded on social media and through television and through watching the CrossFit Games by seeing the top 10% of elites in the world, where everybody can do everything, and because of this there's a certain baseline of capabilities, and as a result of that you'll find there's a universal body shape, which is what we then portray or understand as that is how you're going to look when you do strength training or CrossFit as a woman. Now, what this seemingly results in looks like cognitive dissonance. You see women that have found a community, that are enjoying strength training, and they're reaping the rewards of the hard work through a physiological adaptation. But you have society and societal views which dictate what their standards of beauty are. And then what you have is a person that's really into strengthening their mind, their body, and enjoying the process versus what society is telling you you should be doing. And this is where it creates a bit of a problem. Now, to unpack this societal, psychological, and physical block, we are going to be using a research article done by Jessica Salvatore and Gian Marecek called Gender in the Gym: Evaluation Concerns as Barriers to Women's Weightlifting. I've circled the abstract in red, which doubles down on the question that's been posed, which stipulates how 4 studies have been examined why women appear to be less likely than men to lift weights, despite the documented health benefits and archival analysis. With emphasis placed on women's participation in strength training or weightlifting, poses the question as to why it is often avoided. This slide opening up with a very problematic statement describing how in North America the ideals are that men typically build muscle just to the right amount, whilst women are expected to burn fat in order to become lean and toned. Though the counter argument over here is that strength training is beneficial for both men and women, physically and mentally, as this can prevent illness, this can reverse engineer the aging process, this can minimize osteoporosis for women that might be menopausal, and this can help with mental health. Overall, it's pretty conclusive that lifting weights has clear benefits for women and men. According to the studies, the key components of the resistance to women doing strength training seem to be a societal one. In the reports, women stipulated that they wouldn't want to bulk up or look too muscular. The other reason being that society's cultural ideal of the feminine bodies discouraged women from participating in strength training or weightlifting. The purpose of this video was to do two things. One, if you happen to be part of the demographic or the population that takes in the general consensus or what people pass off as second-hand, unfiltered opinions and use that as a fact, I would challenge you to go and do your own research about matters such as these before perpetuating these and potentially causing a cycle which might throw someone else off who could benefit from doing strength training. And secondly, if society and your immediate circle of friends, family, acquaintances, and your social life and political views have an influence on how you see strength training as a woman, I would also try and challenge you to do what you feel like is right. Society will tell you what to do and what's right or wrong either way. You're kind of damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So that is my challenge to you too. And if you found this video helpful and insightful, please give it a share or share it with someone that might take away a lot from this. Thank you very much. Happy training.